Hello, my beautiful friends. I am grateful that you're here, and I wanted to spend some time on this video about the life cycle. Are you in a place where you are feeling exhausted, feeling like what is the point in this world, and have been or currently are struggling? If you are, and if you're here, most likely this is you. And I want to speak to you and offer some tools and some assistance as far as how you can move through this. Now, oftentimes in our lives, we resist those pieces that feel heavy, feel dark, feel emotional, feel hard. When we have something physically wrong with us, we instantly go to taking something that will help us to feel better. We are so conditioned in our society and in our world to self-soothe and to do things that will calm whatever it is that's going on, will calm the chaos. So instead of sitting in the pain, the grief, the sadness, the uncertainty, the fear, whatever it is, we'll turn to food, we'll turn to social media, we'll turn to TV, movies, whatever distractions, we'll even turn to drama. We'll create drama so that we don't have to look at our own stuff. And this morning, as I was sitting in meditation and really asking for clarity around some pieces that I'm working with, I was guided to be shown that there's an aspect of me that wanted to die. So in shamanism, we do a lot with and work a lot with the life-death life cycle. It's the direction of the West, which is Jaguar medicine. And Jaguar medicine and the West energy is that luminous warrior that has no enemies in this lifetime or the next. And it is this constant evolution that the soul is asking to constantly have life, death, life, death, life, death, or death, life, because you can't have life without death. And we move through that, right, in our worlds. We go through endings of relationships, of friendships, of belief systems, of all sorts of things. We are constantly having elements and aspects in our world die. Even the construct of the world that we have known outside of our control is dying and is constantly dying. And we resist death. In fact, the number one fear most people have is death. Right on the heels of that is public speaking, right? And we want to resist death like the plague. We don't want to face it. We don't want to spend time in that space. And yet it is a natural part of the soul's evolution. You cannot evolve into something new without letting go of something else. So I wanted to really speak into that space. And more specifically, speak into the aspect deaths that get to die. So our soul, our being has many parts to it, many facets to it, kind of like, you could almost liken it to, in some ways, we have a lot of different fractals to the beautiful creation that we are. And these parts of us that come in actually will take the main seat, if you will, like in the driver's seat, right? And all parts of us are the passengers. And there's one part of us that's driving, that is in the driver's seat that's going. And this part could look like, it could be so many different aspects. It could either be the title of whatever the career is that you currently have. If you're a mother or a father, it could be those titles, those labels. It could be even parts of you that have been hiding, that have been driving, that like keeping you so safe and protected for so long. But it's this part of our soul, this aspect of our soul that eventually has done its work to a point to where it is exhausted. So if you are in a space to where you are feeling done with life, you are wondering what is the point, you are feeling exhausted all the time, it is possible that there is a piece of you, an aspect of you that's ready to be put to rest. And if this is ringing true, this is something that you would normally need to do a journey and a session with a shaman, a shamanic practitioner. However, several months ago, I was guided to create this in a guided meditation that I recorded. And I was kind of surprised that it came through. And I didn't even know if I could do this process just through a guided visualization, but it came through so beautifully. And so I'll make sure and put the link up for that in the description if that is something that you are interested in. It is a really, really beautiful process. And when we allow for something in these parts of us to die, and we honor those parts of us that have been at work for so long, there gets to be something that comes in that is just stunning and revitalized and new, and is an aspect of us that's now ready to come in, because there's that part of us that has done all this work, that has learned everything it gets to learn in that part, that aspect of us, that now is ready to be alchemized, and something new gets to be brought in for a new experience. And yesterday I had a really interesting conversation with a friend of mine, and this is something that everyone can resonate with. When we again are so conditioned to resist discomfort, and yet death is uncomfortable. Though when there's parts of us that are popping, that feel uneasy, we will resist it. But the only way that it can fully die and fully be seen, and the lessons fully learned, is when we lean in. So when you're noticing those places of burning, of discomfort, my invitation and my advice, and from everything that I know, the biggest gift that you can give to yourselves is to lean in. Lean into that discomfort, that place of burning, that place of a refiner's fire, that really alchemy is happening. And the only way for alchemy to truly happen is when you sit in the fire, in the burning of it. And when we resist it, we keep pulling in. That thing that we resist persists, right? So that thing, maybe there's a part of us that wants to be seen. This part of us that doesn't feel seen in the world. And so we keep attracting over and over again dynamics to be seen, or to show that we're not seen, because that's the belief that we're holding. So sitting in that pain of, oh my gosh, I just want to feel seen. Where am I not seeing myself? Can be really difficult, because it's so much easier to push this on someone else. Say you're in a relationship. It's so much easier to go put this on your partner and point the fingers at them for the things that they're not doing, instead of turning the finger towards you, towards me. What is it about me? How am I continuing to create this? Why am I creating this? Why am I attracting this into my world? Man, I have attracted relationship after relationship where there has been dishonesty, and the ability for my partners to be honest. Why? Why am I attracting that? What is it about me that is being dishonest? Where am I holding that place within me? Why do I need my partners to be honest? Here's the thing, and one of the deepest truths that I know is that, there's several, but with this, we attract those things that we believe. Our subconscious is constantly running the show. In that unconscious place, all of our limiting beliefs, or our beliefs about the world, are formed from the ages of 0 to 9. So if you attracted or created a belief when you were a child that you are unlovable, your unconscious mind, its whole job is to prove you right. So then in your life, you will continue to attract that thing over and over and over again, until you ask the question and you allow for it to come into the consciousness. You allow for it to move out of the shadow into the light, and then you can bring it into wholeness, into balance, and find the gifts, hold the gifts, and let go of that belief so that it's no longer true. So how do you do this? How do you move forward? One, if you're feeling like there's an aspect of you that gets to die, go get that guided journey that I have recorded. It's absolutely stunning. And two, start asking the questions. Be willing and have the courage to lean into the discomfort, to sit in that fire, that burning, and ask what wants to be witnessed here, what wants to be seen, what's the belief here. And when you sit in that place and spend time, I would invite you to journal. And if you can, if journaling works for you, you can actually have a conversation with God, your guides, where you journal and ask questions, and then you receive the answer and you write it out, is one beautiful tool that you can use. Another one, if you're more of a visual person, go in your mind's eye to a place that feels safe and invite a guide in. Someone that will assist you in seeing what gets to be seen. When we have conversations, it's natural to have that question answered in a conversation space. We're wired that way. When we have physical conversations with someone, we receive an answer back. So if you can do this with yourself, you will find the answers that you're seeking, because our unconscious mind is like this supercomputer that has access to everything. So this video is how really wanting to teach you how to self-resource. Yes, there are guides, there are facilitators, there are healers, and if you're feeling stuck, for sure, reach out to someone. And you can do these things yourself. You can get to the root. So what happens when you get to the root? When you see that, oh my gosh, I have a limiting belief that I am unlovable, now what? Well, first you just brought that into the conscious mind. And sit with it. Sit with it in that space of, wow, I'm holding this belief that I'm an unlovable. And then ask yourself, when did this first start? Where did I first form this belief? And allow yourself to actually be pulled back to wherever that is, whether it's this lifetime or a past lifetime or even a lineage piece. Go back into that timeline. Be shown. Ask the unconscious mind, show me. Show me when this first started. See what gets to be said, felt, seen, and witnessed and felt. And then ask yourself and your unconscious mind to show you what the learnings were. What the learnings were from this, that when you formed that belief, it created gifts. It created tools that you wouldn't have had without that belief. So ask the unconscious mind to show you what are the gifts. And when you're able to find the gifts, then take those gifts with you. Understand that this is why you created that pattern, that belief in the first place, and move it forward on your timeline, bringing forward the new beliefs, the new holdings, and the gifts that you are pulling forward with you into the now, into the present. And if this is a deeper one that you're having challenge, a hard time really pulling it through, reach out to either an NLP practitioner. You can reach out to myself. I do one-on-one sessions. But I wanted to assist you in taking the steps to hopefully allowing you to dive into where you can release this belief and play with it. Have fun with it. If you are somebody that needs to move your body in this space of like, oh man, have I had this belief that I'm unlovable? Wow. You know what, actually, that is silly. And if I could go back to my 2-year-old self, I would hold her. I would hold her and just tell her and create this space for her that she is loved, that I love her. And I can hold her in that space now as the adult version of me. Nurture her, spend time with her, dance with her, play with her, see her, and give her what she needs. So be creative with this space. Allow for your imagination to take hold. Our imagination is actually the seat to our God brain. It's something that we shut off often. But if you want to start tapping into your gifts, open up that intuition or that imagination that lies right back here in the third eye in the God brain. And if you have further questions, comment below. Reach out to me if you're needing a session or if you need referrals to other people. I know so many amazing practitioners. But you're not alone. You're not alone in this journey. We are all in this together. And there are parts of us that are deeply asking to be seen, to be released, so they are no longer coloring our world. And guess what? One of the beautiful parts about being human in this human experience is that we actually did choose the myriad of contrast that we are experiencing, even in the hardest of hearts. If our world was only covered in grass, how pretty, how beautiful would the world be? It would get really boring really fast. And same thing with our lives. If we only had happiness and joy, it would get pretty boring pretty fast. A beautiful song is beautiful because of the depths that the instruments bring. If there was only one string that a violin was playing in a song, it may be pretty for 10 seconds. But it would get pretty boring pretty fast. So the contrast that we are experiencing in life is part of the orchestra and the symphony of your soul's journey. So can you understand and see that this actually is not anything that you created that was wrong or bad, and not a consequence for something that you did, but more an ask from a deep call from your soul to see yourself deeper and to progress and ascend more and more into all of who you are and who you can be in this earth and in this experience and in this life. So can you see and shift your perspective just a little bit, that when the shit happens and the pain happens, that it is a part of the symphony and the orchestra of your life that is asking to be seen, witnessed, and alchemized and brought into the whole. I hope that this video was helpful for you. If you found it resonating and it resonated, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this. I would love to grow this page, as this has been, for some reason, there is a deep soul's call to step into YouTube and to start posting more videos here. So continue to watch out. And if you're subscribed, you'll see when I post new videos. Sending you all so much love.